Hello friends, welcome to our channel omlabs. So in this particular video, we will be talking about a very common device that is used in laboratories. This is a pH meter. Now as the name suggests, pH meter is used for pH measurements and it is generally used in chemistry as well as biology laboratories. Now if I talk about this specific pH meter which we will show you in this video, it is meant for industrial purposes and it is designed as per the industrial standards. Now, as you can see here in front of me, it is a microprocessor pH meter, and as I told you, it is being designed, following the industrial standards. Now, we will be talking about as to what parts are contained in this pH meter and how do we actually operate it. Now, before operating it, it is very important that we calibrate it so that it gives us the final measure of the pH in a very efficient manner and in a very accurate manner. Now, first of all, I would like to show you its parts as to what parts it contains, and after that we will go to the operation. So first of all, here we have the device on which we have the display, and here we have 3 buttons. So the display will obviously show you different parameters. Now these parameters are related to electrode as well. Now you will also be able to see the electrode slope recognition and the electrode efficiency display as well here on this particular display as well, you will be able to see the instructions for the calibration followed by the pH measurements, and if you are measuring the temperature measurements. Now let us one by one talk about what are the components of this pH meter. So first of all, we have this device. Then we have this particular probe. This probe is called a pH probe. This particular probe is dipped in an electrolyte solution, KCl or potassium chloride. Now, if I talk about this particular probe, it is the temperature probe, and this temperature probe can measure the temperature from range -10 degrees Celsius to 120 degrees Celsius. And if I talk about the pH range, which I haven't mentioned earlier, the pH range is about -2 to 16 pH. So this is the device, and I have already attached the main power supply of the device to the switch. Now here you can see there are some sort of sockets here, and in these particular sockets only we will be attaching our probes. Now for temperature probe, we have this black socket. We just have to insert this particular wire into the socket. Moreover, for the pH electrode, we have 2 kinds of keys here, or we can say the particular sockets here. So what we have to do is we have to insert it in this manner and we have to rotate it so that it gets fixed. And later on we have to fix this red one over here. So this is how our probes are attached to the device now, and they are ready for the measurements. Now, moreover, we also provide you with this stand, and the stand is quite rotatory so that you can, easily work with your own comfort. Now, this particular pH meter comes with an instruction manual, and this instruction manual will give you the best of the details for its operation. Now, if I talk about the operation of this pH meter, it is quite easy and it is also quite manageable. We all know that every pH meter requires calibration, and calibration is a process wherein we have some buffers or some solutions which have a fixed pH, and we calibrate the device on the basis of those particular solutions or buffers so that our device works efficiently and also measures the unknown pH with quite of an accuracy. Now, if I talk about the calibration aspect, I will show you as to how to calibrate this pH meter. Now, here we have the on and off switch, and as I switch it on, you can see the welcome coming, and here we have the calibration points coming up. This is the slope, offset, and the electrode display was being shown here, the electrode efficiency, etc. Now we have to press measure. So this is the measure button, right? This is the measure button, and here it is quite ready to actually measure the pH of the unknown solution, because I have calibrated it already. But again, for your reference, I will calibrate it so that you will know its operation And for your reference, you will be able to calibrate this pH meter by looking into or by referring to this video. Now, say for example, I want to calibrate it. So I'll press on cal and the calibration mode has started. Now it is asking me to put the electrode in 4 pH solution or the 4 buffer. Now here in this pH meter, we also provide you with 3 solutions which are meant for calibration. The first one is pH 4, the second one is pH 7 and the third one is pH 9.2. Now what we have to do is we have to simply take this and to open the bottle, and by taking our probe, we have to handle the probe very carefully because it is a glass probe, and we should not touch it by bare hands ideally. So I'll rinse it a little bit in distilled water, and later on I'll wipe it with some tissues. It is very important that the water is wiped so that we get the accurate measurements of our pH meter. Now, since the electrode is white, I cannot let it be in the air for much longer time, and I actually immerse it into the pH 4 solution. Now as I immerse it, I'll press enter, which is the same as cal button. I press enter, and now it is asking me to wait till the calibration gets over. As you can see, the calibration with buffer solution on pH 4 is done. Now what I'll do is I'll rinse the probe again. I'll put it aside and I'll take the pH 7 buffer, and later on again with the same procedure I'll proceed and calibrate this particular device with pH 7 buffer. So I open the bottle like this and I'll immerse my electrode into this particular solution, and I'll press enter again. As you can see, the pH 7, the buffer with pH 7 we have used, and the calibration is done. Now what we'll do is we'll take the next buffer, that is on pH 9.2, and we'll further continue with our calibration. I've opened the bottle in this manner, and now I'll again immerse my probe into this and I'll press enter. As you can see, we have successfully completed the calibration process, and the first step of the operation of our pH meter is completed. I'll rinse the probe again, and later on I'll actually wipe it with a tissue so that it's not containing any water etc. on its surface. And again, it is very important to immerse it into the electrolyte or KCl. So we are done with the calibration aspect, and before proceeding to the real operation of this pH meter, I would like to emphasize on a very special function that this pH meter performs. It also performs internal buffer recognition. That is, if by mistake during calibration or any other operation, you immerse the electrode in some wrong buffer. That is, say for example, I am supposed to immerse my electrode in pH 7 during calibration, but by mistake I immersed in pH 9.2. It will display a warning and it will ask you to again immerse the electrode into pH 7 buffer. One of the best features that this particular pH meter has. Now let us come to the operation as to how does this pH meter measures the pH of an unknown solution. Now here in this particular beaker, I have taken the solution of NaOH, right? Now NaOH, as we know, is around, has a pH range of around 13.5 to 14, which is, it is a highly alkaline solution. And since the NaOH I have is quite old, I wanted to see as to how its pH has changed. So I will use this pH meter, and for your reference I will show you as to how to operate it in a very efficient manner. So nothing, we just have to take the, since we have calibrated it, we just have to take the probe, we have to carefully take it out, and we have to rinse it first. So rinsing is an important aspect, and I have changed the distilled water, and it is important that you have a wash bottle, etc., so that once you are rinsing, it will be easier for you to, and you will not have to change the water again and again. I have again wiped it so that no water is stuck, no water droplets are stuck on the surface. And now what I'll do is I'll immerse the probe directly into the solution like this, and as you can see, we are getting the readings. You have to wait for some seconds or some minutes so that we get the accurate reading. And as you can see, we have got the accurate reading, that is 13.40. So this was about the operation of this particular pH meter, which is set on industrial standards. Now using this pH meter, you can also measure the temperature aspect just by dipping the probe in the solution you are working with. So for any query regarding this particular product, you may contact us from the email ID which is being displayed on the screen, and you may also visit our website and you may order this product as per your convenience. You may also like, share and subscribe our channel, and also be updated with our channel for the upcoming videos. Thank you so much.